Facing fear. Facing fear, that's the wave that's upon you, right? It's like the situation is there. And from my own personal experience, I used to be in complete terror. And the terror wasn't present as some people have experienced in living through a war or a manifestation. Was reliving as I was older the terror of my childhood, of experiences. And when you have PTSD, as it's called, in that labeling of it, and you talk to somebody like that's come back from fighting in the war, they are completely experiencing, somebody breaking down their door, or, the gunshots, the images. It all seems so completely real that to say to somebody, that's not happening right now, it is such a disconnect. And yet that's, for me, what's going on right now in the world, that there is so much fear that is a present to many of us in different ways. We talked about it at the global party last year, which is, believe it or not, 11 months ago. And we told people that this 2-week lockdown is going to be way longer. Like, this is, use this time as a gift to heal from the inside out, because you're going to have to face your fear of losing income, fear of dying, fear of change, fear of giving up things that you have become so committed, so attached to. And so this is what so many of us are experiencing in different levels. Fear of the government taking away our powers, fear of this vaccine, changing our DNA, and we're all being a world of zombies, fear of restricting of travel, and in that sense, that is very, very real. Yet if we can get present, which is what I have experienced over my life, in finding that balance and finding that present, it is a journey, because I'm the only one perceiving my experiences, right? I'm looking through the glasses, and I'm looking through the filters of my beliefs to say, is this what's true? And each of us have to do this. And when I did it, like, as I started to go through and face these things and really start to, is this really what I'm experiencing? What am I experiencing this terror in my body? I want to release it, because I want to be free. I want to be free in my body, because this is all I have in this world to move and navigate through it. So if my body's constricted, my experience is constricted, even though I might have the freedom, so-called freedom, to go to a store to do something. If I'm still confined by disease and disorder and constriction and concerned about if someone else is going to hurt me, I'm still living in fear. I'm still in a prison in my mind. And I have great faith that this is what the world is shifting from, that we're seeing this in full-blown pictures, where either there's some that are just completely trusting, and we're going, and others are saying, are you ignorant? Do you really know what's going on? And sometimes ignorance is bliss. And is the ignorance then, is that better? Right? Because someone's just going on and you're saying, but you don't know. Everybody has a different experience. And each of us get to have that experience, because that's why we have free will. It's when when I was confined, when I decided I didn't like the way I was feeling, when I decided that I had the judgments about other people, or I was feeling scared of what other people were doing, what I felt that I was being restricted. And when I dealt with all that, and I discovered that I actually have this beautiful healing presence that naturally exists in my body. And I love sharing that vibe of positivity and joy, that it can be transformed, that you can heal from the inside out, and that wealth and abundance is all around you because we've been given this, right? When I discovered all that, it's like I discovered a whole new world. That's why I call it best whole new world, because I believe everybody has your best whole new world. And I'm being that lighthouse to say that when you can release your fears, you're going to discover some freedom. And that's why when I do the interviews with people on the podcast Global Party, it's usually about, it's not so much about, it's what was the gift. It's like with Patrick Phillips. He had to grieve, Dr. Patrick Phillips, he had to grieve his medical profession. He had to grieve the 10 years of schooling and just starting out as a doctor and all that debt. And what if he was reprimanded for speaking his truth, what he saw was the real health crisis, right? And there's always a perfect time for everybody. Everybody gets to have their choice. Everybody gets to live their life, and everybody gets to have their experience. And when we can love and appreciate each other for where they are and what they need to do, and know that we've all been there in certain ways, whether we care to admit it or not. That's compassion that Buddhists talk about. It's compassion to get that it's okay what people are experiencing, that the love is still there, because that's the presence, and that's the freedom, that we really truly are healing from the inside out, that this is just a huge representation of all the fears of everybody, like sort of like we've shaken up the world like in the snow globe, and poof, out they are, and we're all seeing them and saying enough. The systems and structures that we built our world on have what we call our life have been deceptive and deceitful, and it has been a gross illusion. And that is all being revealed. But in that, you're also revealing all the fears and beliefs that each of us have had about our own life. And knowing is like, is this true? Do I need this? Is this helping me? That's what my health transformation program is all about. Is as you rip apart the beliefs and you take in the divine energy with me, you have a whole new transformation in your body, mind, and soul. It's a beautiful experience. Feel the fear, do it anyways. False expectations appearing real, they can so feel real, because that's what your experience is. And then when the experience in the moment, when you can get that guidance to and have that faith and to release and let go. And I'm there for any of you that are wanting and willing to get to that point, to bust out into a whole new level and find that new level of freedom, because it keeps getting deeper and deeper, more expansive all the time. Anything is possible. Infinite world of possibilities. Enjoy your journey. Lots of love.